You're going to get a court order that's signed by a judge, and it's going to include the basics of the do's and the don'ts. But let's be honest, when you're sitting in court, judges say lots of things, and they oftentimes explain parts of the court order, but they don't amend the court order and put all of those details or explanations in the court order because they don't have time. So what are your options? If that's the case, you can ask the court if you can do what's called a finding and order after hearing, which is where you draft what you believe the judge said. Yes, you can't throw in a whole bunch of stuff. You have to send it to the other party. They have to agree. Yeah, that's what the judge said. You both sign it, send it to the judge, and it can become a clarifying document for the court orders that were already made. Sometimes if you're still in the hearing, you can ask the court specifically to add a part of the court order to the minute order. This is like a very synopsis part of the order that you can get from the clerk later. Judges are not going to be adding a huge amount of stuff into their minute orders because not only does it mean they have to do more work, but it means their clerk has to do more work. But for little things like the parties agree that the court can reserve jurisdiction over this to enforce or something like that, or that dad was served or mom is making a general appearance. If there's things that are small and short and super important, you can oftentimes ask the court to add it to the minute order. And most of the time they will. And then you can get yourself a copy of that minute order a few days later, and you'll have a court order as well. In every single case, all of the stuff that the judge says during the hearing that's important, you need to appear in a court order. Otherwise, you're going to get your court order and you're going to be like, wait, other parent violated it because the judge explained that this is not okay. And you're going to read through that court order and it's not going to be anywhere. And then you're going to go back to the judge because you heard the judge say that, but the judge is going to 100% forget the entire explanation they gave. And you're going to be like, but I don't understand. You said this was not all right. So make sure whatever the judge says that is part of the court order that you think is important, no matter how fine the details, ends up in some document signed by the judge. This will allow you to enforce later.